Hello there. While I'm sitting here, I just thought I'd drop in something else. If you caught the fasting video a little bit earlier, I haven't moved much. There was a Jordan Maxwell, an old school Jordan Maxwell clip that was shared to me that I put forward because it was a very informative look, very instructive look at the patterns. But anyone who knows astrology knows the patterns, right? There's a clock. Anyone who knows gematria, like there are number patterns, and they're not word patterns like written word patterns because the letters all mean numbers, right? That's the gematria thing. As soon as it's written, this is the difference between written and spoken. As soon as it's written, the patterns come out. And the Jordan Maxwell one's brilliant because it just shows you the looping. Because once you can spot the patterns in the looping, and I know gematria people who have said they've rounded up the crypto market, they've rounded up the stock market, because it's all just looping patterns. And astrology is the same. It's a big clock, and there are lots of little permutations to it, but it just runs, and it runs, and it runs, and it runs, and it runs, and it's an autopilot setup, and so you would be tempted into thinking everything's numbers, everything's mathematics, as my United States of America friends would say. Everything's math. Not quite the case, actually. It's very tempting, the gematria, the history, the astrology people. It's very tempting to paraphrase someone from a while ago. You just don't forget, like, the cycles make you psycho and the numbers will make you numb. Very deliberately. Yeah, it's a numbers game. Yeah, all the words translate into numbers, but there are two ways of building. Two ways, not one. The first way is this autopilot, mechanized sky clock astrology numbers. The number patterns just roll. They roll and they roll and they roll, and it's autopilot. You can set it and forget it. You could walk away on this realm and come back decades, centuries, millennia. She'll still be rolling. That's the whole point, right? It's a hands-off system. It's a set it up and walk away system. And that very much feels like the system we're in. It can be tweaked around the edges. That second way can be overlaid under it, above it, around it, because the numbers, the autopilot system is not the system. That is the autopilot system. But it's not the creation system. The creation system is sounds, seed sounds. Yes, I'm going to say it in the beginning was the word, that damn book. But you know what I mean, right? The runes. The runes are not letters. The runes are not glyphs. The runes are seed sounds, phonetic alphabet, the Phoenician alphabet. That's magic. That's real magic. Anyone who studied magic will tell you the vowels are the name of God, the words of God, the 7 vowel sounds, not 5. They're all interchangeable. This is why when you see the Kemetan, the Egyptian stuff written down, it's only the consonants. Like nature is actually NTR, netta. The vowels in there, they're the breath of life. They're the things that we insert in to bring life to these consonant building blocks, these phonetics, these runes. And you can swap them around, so that's why English is such a beautiful language and a slippery language. It's a pain in the ass language, actually. But it is totally a magical spell. We only get to work with half of it. The other half is kind of hidden. But because when we swap a vowel out, we take out the O and we add in an A, and we take out the A and we add in a U, and the written word has a totally different meaning. Totally different. But for those of you who know magic, like creator magic, seed sound magic, it makes no difference. It makes no difference whether you say pop or whether you say pap. Doesn't matter if it's P-O-P, P-A-P, P-U-P. It's PIP. It's P-P. Any vowel you put in there will give you the same result, pretty much, with your intention. Now, like speaking Mandarin, right, the same, or there's other East Asian languages, Southeast Asian languages that are much the same, Thai and different ones, the inflection you give changes the word completely, the meaning of the word in the sentence. So I think it's in Thai, there's a beautiful sentence, and it's the same word said 8 different ways, like meow, 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 meow. It sounds exactly the same, but it's a whole sentence. Like it's a joke sentence. It's just for fun, but it shows you that the inflection is very important. The intention is very important. So just because NTR is nature, which is also netta, which is also creator, which is also God, you could say netta and just mean you're going to catch fish. Or you could say netta as in you're casting a web, a net around the whole world, like a god. Like, the inflection matters. So these are the slippery bits, right? You don't get that in maths. You don't get that in astrology. There is no inflection in astrology. The autopilot has no sense of humor. If you want to know what I mean by that, take a deep breath and go and watch Tron Legacy, the second Tron movie. It's a Disney movie, like I said, take a deep breath. There's a bit to deal with in there, but it's very on point with the point it's trying to make. That is, the set and forget autopilot that you switch on so you can have a nap in your Tesla while it's driving, it has zero sense of humor. And quite often, that's what people want from their autopilot. They want no sense of humor. They want no inflection, no wriggle room. It needs to be mathematical. Maths people can't stand the English language, probably Mandarin and a lot of Asian ones as well. Like, it's too artistic. There's too much wriggle room. It's not, like, it's elegant, but it could be messy, really messy, right? Physicists might like it. Chemists might like it. Mathematicians would not like that. It's like mathematics is like music on something like an unfretted stringed instrument. That is the best example of this. How this paradox has to marry together, because you need to know the difference between A and slightly flat A and slightly sharp A. Like, you must be mathematical. If whatever you've tuned your A to, whatever frequency you're tuning it to, your intonation must be exact. And once your intonation is exact, you can play. Indian classical music is perfect for that. It is not written like Western classical music. It is just a framework. And it is already implied that the musicians are amazing and they will play inside the framework. And probably sometimes it sounds horrific, but sometimes it sounds amazing. It's the wriggle room. So whatever we're imagining this place is, where we are, is it ending, is it staying, what's going on? I mean, all of that is just off to one side for a moment. What is going on in here is there are two systems at work. There is a very, very methodical, humorless, mathematical, astrological sky clock system of numbers at play, and that includes geometry, and that includes written words. That is all mathematical. There is no wriggle room there at all. But then there's also the song. Read the start of Tolkien's Silmarillion, but there's so many stories like that. What's actually happening is it's a song, and the song cannot be put on autopilot. The song needs singers. It's not like an automatic pipe organ that's just playing off a punch card. It's not mathematical. It's It's the voice. And the voice is used with intention. And when you sing that, when you pitch that A and sing that word or that tone, doesn't even have to be a word, what intention are you holding in your mind when you hold that tone? Is it a melancholy intention? Is it a loving intention? Is it a hateful intention? That will change the note. It will change the frequency and the vibration. So yes, the history and the systems and the cycles and the numbers and the gematria and that's ludicrous, that stuff. Like, it is so methodically mathematical, it will blow the back of your head off. But that is the autopilot punch card system that it's been put in place here to just run and run and run and run with no hand on the tiller, and someone can just sneak in and tweak it anytime they want, but otherwise it'll just do its thing while we focus on something else. That's not really what we're about, though. We're about singing the song, and that song needs singers in real time. There's no autopilot when you're singing a song. And that's this other layer of creativity and creation that's unfolding around us, while the astrological Greek myths and Persian stories and South American, while those stories unfold on us in an never wavering bang, 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 same story, same thing over and over again, same tragedy. There's that going on in here, but that's not all that's going on in here. Some beings in here are singing songs in real time, and that's where it's at. All right, much love.